Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Go. Hello. It's Wise Women's Wednesday. Who's in the house? Hello, Denise and Corliss. Good to see you. I see Darla and Jocelyn and Mary Ann. Isn't this so fun? There's my girl, Gloria. Hello. Are you excited or what for this day? I am always excited for Wise Women's Wednesday. Don't ask me why. Just love me some Wise Women's Wednesday. There's Marguerite and Joanne and Carla. Yay. Look at y'all just marching on in here. That's the way we do it. So today we're going to be talking about the practice of mindfulness, because mindfulness truly is a practice, isn't it? There's Kimberly and Sandy. So good. Steph is in the house as well. And I recognize most of you, everybody I'm looking at right now, I have signed a journal to. I have done that. Pretty much everybody there. Hi, Simone, all the way from lovely Brazil. I've never been there, but I know it's beautiful. Anyway, I'm excited about today's show. I'm excited about this whole topic of mindfulness and all the things that we have coming up. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff with you. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. So first of all, I have to share some news. I shared the news about my son, right? I did. Of course I did. Because prayer gets answered, doesn't it? We know that. Prayer gets answered. Hi, Linda and Mary and Sue. Good to see you. Secondarily, I know my daughter and her husband were considering a move back to North Carolina for a while. And just last night, when I put my phone on silence, I put my phone to airplane mode every night. I don't want that going off while I'm sleeping. She said that they're moving the end of August to here. My area, my neck of the woods. I'm a little bit happy about that. You know, prayer is a good thing, isn't it? I have been praying about that. Hi, Diane. So good to see you. And Susan's here too as well. We got some Susans and some Sues. We got everybody. And there's my girl, Margaret. She's in the house as well. So I'm thrilled about, you know, all you mamas out there, you know how it is when your little chicks leave the nest and you just kind of, when they leave the nest, they leave the nest. It's a done deal. Even if they go off to college, things are never quite the same. But we celebrate their independence. We celebrate their adulthood and all of that. We can look back wistfully, but we're not going to live in the past, are we? Our experience file tells us and teaches us that that's never a really good idea, but we can cherish the memories that we have of their childhood and also allow for their adulthood to flourish and to bloom. That's what we want. And that's what we get to do as wise women mothers, So I'm really excited. I mean, come on. God is good all the time. So speaking of that, I've got a bunch of other news to tell you. And those of you, and we have a lot of you, who are, let me just kind of, there it is. I've got to anchor everything. Who are our chocolate people, our perfect paleo protein chocolate folks. We had a mishap with the last couple of batches of chocolate. We don't know exactly what happened, but it was either a human error or machine error. And they added so much chocolate to the chocolate that it was beyond, even this chocoholic was like, stop it. It was terrible. So we got quite a few returns, and some people didn't return them. But what, we made a decision and we talked to our manufacturer and said, you got to make this right. And they are making this right. And so if you have bought chocolate and you were just like, I don't know why people like this. We are replacing it. Okay. At no cost to you, it will be replaced. And this is within a few months. I don't remember exact dates, but we are doing that. We are doing the reason that we're doing it is because we want you to be able to rely on our great products. And they are great. We do a tremendous job with them. They're small batch, they're proprietary blends. They're just for us. But the chocolate was off, and I just said, and then they did another batch and it was off. And I said, we need to reformulate this. So we reformulated it. And let me tell you something, it's off the hook. The other thing that they have done, which is great because right about now is when prices increase. They're not increasing our prices. Instead, what they did was they found smaller containers. Because if you know this stuff, this stuff is when you open it up, you're going to see it like filled to right about there because it's done by volume, it's done by weight, not volume. Well, this smaller container, here it is. Ta-da! Same amount in there. And then I said, well, no, it's not. It's 4 ounces. It's 4 ounces less. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Same size scoop and all of that. And they said, well, it's the container, silly. They didn't say it's the container, silly, but it's the container. So I just want to report that I had our new formulation today, and I was delighted. It is so good. Chocolatey without killing you. Not too sweet, just right. Anyway, I'm thrilled about that. So if you are a part of our group that got a chocolate that you said, what happened here? Don't worry about it. We've got your back. We'll be taking care of it. Just watch. It'll be coming in the mail. We're going to be doing it a little bit at a time because you can imagine we've got a few hundred people to deal with on this. And we want to make sure that you're well taken care of. I'm telling you all of this. We could just not tell you. And I could just be really quiet about it. But I'm telling you because my integrity is on the line. And it's important to me that I step up and tell you, hey, we messed up, but we are fixing it. And we're fixing it on your behalf, on our behalf, and we're fixing it for the integrity product behalf. So anyway, that's what's happening right now. Hi, Debbie, Lucy, Angie, Catherine, good to see you. And I know I probably missed a few. I was too busy flapping my lips there. But anyway, that's I just wanted to tell you what's going on because we're pretty plain here. We have we create small batches of our supplements. They are proprietary blends. Nobody else carries them. And when something's not right, we're going to fix it. You bet we're going to fix it. And we're not going to just, make it hard on you. We're going to make it easier on you. We're going to make it so that you say, well, we can trust Saving Dinner because they're going to do the right thing at all the time. Because that's how we roll. We do the right thing all the time. Anyway, so enough of that. Isn't that fun though? Yeah. And it's really good. It's super, super good. I also have another thing to tell you. We have homework. Are you a journal owner yet? Are your journals here? We still have people ordering journals and we are doing our best. We're sending them out priority. Okay. savingdinner.com/journal. This is your blueprint for a vibrant life. Because you know what? Your goals are nothing if they're not mapped out. Your goals are nothing if you don't have a plan on how to, knock it out of the park, right? So that's what we're doing. We are sending all of these out. I promise you, every single one of them right now is going out priority, so you will get it in time. But I will tell you this, May 15th, we have a workshop. Also May 22nd, both Saturday mornings from 10 to 12, p.m. Eastern. a.m. Eastern. And I just want you to do one thing for me. Okay. Can I get a pinkies up on this? Work this homework. Not 5 minutes before the class starts. Oh my gosh, I didn't do it. Spend some time with this. This is something that if you allow to percolate in your heart, you're going to find yourself just going, my life is going to be so exciting. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. This is what I want this so badly for you. I can't even tell you. And this is the way we get it. We got to start with this stuff. It's going to make all the difference in the world. There they go. There go the pinkies. I'm excited about this. We're going to really have quite a time on Saturday. I'm already bursting at the seams for this. It's going to be really fun. It is a workshop. You need to come equipped with your journal, with your homework, and with a pencil and a very open mind, and be ready for everything. Because this is the thing. You're going to get the whole gist of everything, but you might go back and refine and change. That's fine. I am there for you. I'm going to help you every step of the way. And once these workshops are over, we're not done. We're just simply done with that part of the, that part of the equation. But there's going to be more coming down the path. And this 12-week period, it might not be right on, but it's going to be a whole lot better than doing nothing, right? And then you can try it again the next 12 weeks and the next 12 weeks. And I promise you this time that we're doing this particular 12-week deal, we're going to be doing it again in another 12 weeks and in another 12 weeks, because my whole goal is to have you super equipped and ready for this vibrant life. We just need to welcome it in. That's all we need to do, right? Who's the welcome committee here? It's just going to be so much fun. And I just can't wait. And plus, we will take all the time that you need for all the questions that you're, inevitably going to have. That's just how it works. Hi, Rena. You're going to be traveling to Mexico. Well, go say hi to our gal, Gloria. She's down there. Mexico's a big country, but you never know. Oh, way too much hot milk mix. Oh! Oh, well, I needed that anyway. All right, couple of other things. Don't forget success tools. That's one of our biggest things, because again, we're back to the whole thing. This is why we do the daily dish. We bring vibrancy back into your life, heart, mind, body, and soul. So we have quote decks. You can find them at savingdinner.com/quote. And this is just kind of this is how they look. And there you get a whole deck of cards. They come with the stand. They sit on your desk and they do their work and their magic. That's number one. Savingdinner.com/quote. And number two, we have our mindful mugs. Love the mugs. And we have, we are trying to work with the mug company too, because again, it's back to that whole thing, transparency. You have to hand wash these. They didn't tell us that. And so we had some people who had sad experiences. So my whole thing to you is that we're going to work on getting this fixed. That's what we're going to do. But read about the mug and why it's such an powerful tool. Savingdinner.com/mug. Plus, we have 3 different ways that you can get one, including one free way. Yeah, free is good. I like free. Our Vibrant Body Detox. We start on Monday, by the way. Monday. So go get your supplement right now. It's just a very simple program. It's 10 days. It's easy as pie. And you're going to be in company with a ton of women who are doing it. Check it out at savingdinner.com/restore. Now I'm sending you there because at Restore you can watch the webinar we did on Monday, or you can just go to savingdinner.com/detox and get the supplement itself. Whatever you want to do. So I think that's pretty much it. Except, did you see this? How do you like this one? The past is a great teacher, but a horrible landlord. Don't live there. Anybody, did that land on anyone like a cosmic 2x4 that it is? Anyone? I found it to be fascinating, because it just, we have a tendency to go there. We all do it. We all do it. Some just more than others, right? Some just more than others. So I don't want you to do that anymore. It's not fun. Oh, Julie, I am so sorry. Julie's mother passed. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that is hard. That is really hard. Julie, you have all of our prayers. You know that. We are all with you in spirit, and we've got your back. Hi, Janet. Good to see you. And Margaret has got her pinkies up. Oh, and don't forget about those questions on Friday. Sorry, Friday. Q&A Friday. All you do is send them into support at savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. That's what it gets. Sarah, you crack me up. Oh my goodness. Yes. Cosmic 2x4 helmets. We should have that, right? I might show up like that on Saturday with a cosmic 2x4 cosmic 2x4 on my head. Do you remember Steve? Why can't I think of his name? Steve, what is his name? Who put the arrow through his head? Remember that? Why can't I think of his name? That's crazy. All right, today is Martin. Thank you. Gosh, I was going to say Kelly. Steve Kelly is a guy I went to high school with. That's weird. Should I be worried? Steve Martin. Yeah. All right. I want to get you to this. I want to get into Wise Women's Wednesday and start, Yes, you know what, Debbie? We're going to be praying for your job. We believe you can. I believe that you can start pulling things in. The things that you want, you can bring in. You can just activate that reticular activating system. The same way that you buy a car, when all of a sudden you start seeing cars on the road all over the place, it's because you're now aware. There's an awareness that happens with that. So do that. Yeah. Cosmic 2x4, just like Steve Martin with the arrow. We're going to have a 2x4 coming out of our heads. And for those of you who are too young who don't get that, there's a lot of us that do, and we're just laughing. Anyway, all right. So today we're talking about the practice of mindfulness, and I bet you think I'm going to talk about meditation, don't you? Huh? Not this time. Not this time. But of course, mindfulness, one of the most basic things in mindfulness is the practice of meditation, because meditation brings us back to our beautiful selves. Meditation is the thing that stirs the pot and brings us back to center. And I say that all the time because when we're so scattered and so hurrying up and going all the time, we very often lose our sense of who we are. We just feel like we're just here to wipe somebody's butt, to do grocery shopping, walk the dog, and all the other things that need to get done. We lose our sense of self. And when we are aware of ourselves with a small practice of meditation, it makes all the difference in the world. So that's why I want you to think about this as far as meditation is concerned. And don't worry, we're going there tomorrow. That's what Thursday is all about, is the practice of meditation. But today I've got 3 other practices for you, things that I've looked in it just in my own life. What are the things that have lit me up? What are the things that have changed from being frantic to being mindful? Because I lived in a way, I would say frantic was the underpinnings of my life, constantly. I was a bit of a hand wringer. I learned that well from my mother. But I also felt that life was just passing me by, and I was just, stuck in this place of just feeling empty and sad and not enough for anyone, including God. Isn't that terrible? But that's the place where a lot of us start, until we start to understand that mindfulness is the path toward that vibrancy that we want. Vibrant lives don't just happen. They're planned for. They're created on purpose for purpose, because so are we. That's how it works. So when we understand how mindfulness is a whole different way of thinking about things, we talked about that yesterday. Instead of being reactive, to start being a noticer. Instead of being somebody who gets into the weeds about things and starts hand wringing, we do things just a little bit different. We experience life a little bit differently. And the cool thing is, this is what I found in my research too. Remember how I told you how complaining shrinks your brain, right? Remember I've told you that, how complaining shrinks your brain? Well, mindfulness shrinks your amygdala. Drop the mic. Yes! Your amygdala is the fear center of your brain. The amygdala holds you back from a vibrant life. And the thing is, it shrinks it, and it creates a pattern of having your amygdala release those feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine. Boom. Yeah, we're going to have a meditation party tomorrow, Sarah. We're going to just group the whole thing together. I still have a show to do. So I like this. And I also read too that having a practice of mindfulness as well also helps with pain. Did you know that? That when we're mindful, we're experiencing less pain than those who are not. It's just really bizarre how your brain is going to reward you with good things for doing the right things. Isn't that fabulous? I love that so much, because it really does help to even reinforce it, underline it, and make you sure that you're going in the right direction. That's how incredible having a mindful practice is. So here's a couple of things that three things that I have done that has just changed my life. Besides the meditation part, that's tomorrow. That's a whole show. But these three things, and I think all wise women need to step into these things because it makes all the difference in the world. And it's reading, writing, and actively listening. Okay, those three things. Now I'm going to go through these and how they've made such a difference and what I mean by each one of them. And I think that's going to maybe help you. So if you're note takers, here we go. You ready for this? Reading, writing, and actively listening. So number one is reading with a pencil and being intentional about your reading. You know, I've always been a reader, always. I mean, I used to go to the library, walk there barefoot by myself, you know, when I was in 5th and 6th grade, and I read everything I could get my hands on. I was always a bookworm. I used to fancy myself as being in a French boarding school or Swiss boarding school or something, and, you know, trying to learn French and all this kind of stuff. I had a very active imagination as a child, but, you know, I was a very avid reader, and I would go get 6 books in the summer, bring them home, read the 6 books, take them back and go get 6 more because that's all you could get. It was really great. But it was a lot of fiction. And then later on, as I started getting into just a little bit of work on myself, I started with some personal development books, and I read a lot of them. When I started reading them with a pencil and being intentional about the whole thing, expecting when I opened the book that words would jump out at me, phrases would jump out at me, ideas and concepts would be part of my new thinking, then that's when things really started to change. That's when I started to devour books and come away from them feeling different and charged and changing my mind on things that previously were things that held me back. When you can change your mind from things that held you back, and that means, one, you're teachable. Congratulations. There's a lot of people out there that aren't teachable, by the way. And number two, it also means that there's so much more that we need to know. The more you know, the more we really need to know. The more I read, the more I realize I know this much. And there's so much out there to learn and to find out about. So reading like this, actively reading and allowing things to jump out at you and to expect that to happen helps to form new thoughts, new neural connections. You know, it changes the neuroplasticity of your brain. It expands your beautiful self as well. And you know, your beautiful self is the part of you that houses your soul, your empathy, the Holy Spirit, your higher self, all that goodness that we need to nurture on a regular basis, because that's who we truly are, not just a pair of jeans or a color of a lipstick or running errands or who we are is right here, you know? And when I do my meditations, by the way, I always put my hand over my heart and feel my beating heart, because that's my connection to God, you know? I know it sounds weird and woo-woo, but we're going weird and woo-woo tomorrow, so tune in. It'll be fun. But we get to mine through our reading nuggets. We get to mine through our reading all these beautiful things that land just right. When we're in expectation of these things, it happens. We pick up the right book. We see and read the right phrase, and it's just that aha that we really needed. That's mindful reading, and it's a whole different situation. When you sit down and you're ready, and you ready yourself to read, this is what happens. Number 2 is writing. And I would go with that with the journaling, right? Journaling. And the reason why is because journaling really helps all of this reading that you've been doing land. You know, from that, you grab a concept, you grab a word and just say, you know, this has just been doing something to me. And rather than just have it go around and around in your brain, when you take the time to actually write it down in your journal, and you know, when we're talking journal, I'm not talking about this journal. This journal is a working journal. This is a planner and for goals, right? Your journal is just something cheap that you bought off of, I buy stacks of them for $1 each at the dollar store. Just the regular old, notebooks, little notebooks. They're sewn together in black and white or red and white spotted covers. Nothing fancy. But what they are is they're filled to the brim with things that have been moving me heart, mind, body, and soul. Things that make me think of things differently and see things just a little bit differently. This is how we not only land them, but this is the big allowance. That's what happens when you do it, because it allows for ideas and concepts to be developed in your own thinking and your own way so that you can relate to them. It doesn't help to have somebody else's fluffy words, You need to have your own words to go with it. It doesn't matter if this writer was just extraordinary and you're just like, ooh, I really admire that writing. If it doesn't land for you, and if it doesn't have a life-changing message for you that you can translate into your own speaking, your own words, then it doesn't work. We don't want to admire as much as we want to articulate and have that be a part of who we are. So I just think that this is really great. And it also allows for the awareness that we're trying to get into our lives. Awareness is what creates mindfulness. Awareness is what creates the noticing. Awareness helps us with our goals. It helps us with our affirmations. And it helps us with the release of all that creativity that you and I both have inside of us. And I don't ever want to hear from a single one of you. I'm holding my mama finger up to you, by the way. I'm not creative. Don't you ever say that to me. Yes, you are. It may be lying dormant, but it's there. Remember, you are created on purpose and for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. That means the creative quota is in you just as much as it is in me and everyone else. Okay? Deal? Pinkies? So that journaling stuff, man, it just takes reading and it couples with reading, hand in glove kind of thing. And it just makes everything beautiful. It does. And it helps to gel these ideas, these concepts. It helps to make them real. And especially when it's coming from your own handwriting. And that's why I encourage over and over and over again, when you handwrite, you are also, I want you to think, you're also wiring your brain at the same time. There's an actual nerve that goes from your hand all the way up into your brain. And it works that much better. And when you've got your thumb and your opposable finger right there doing the work, you should Google that. It'll floor you. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, after all. You say that, not anymore, mama finger. Okay, so number 3 then is listening actively. I think this is such a lost art because we oftentimes listen to respond, and listening to respond does not get us to the same place of actually listening and hearing what somebody else is saying to us. If you've ever been in the place where you're hearing somebody tell you a story and you see their pain and you feel their pain, that's empathy. Is sorely missing in this country right now. It's sorely missing around the world. And empathy is a higher level emotion and a higher level degree of living, really, where we can understand as much as we can what it is to walk in someone else's shoes without shaming them, without degrading them, without talking over them or through them, but instead listening, hearing what they have to say. And being just like those creatures in Avatar and saying, I see you. Meaning you're beautiful, you're important, and you're just as much created in God's image as I am. And you're just as much fearfully made and magnificently created by a God in heaven who felt it necessary to have you as I am. This is how we acknowledge one another, by actively listening. You know what it feels like to be actively listened to. Do you practice it yourself? When we do this, we are automatically putting our relationship pattern into a better place, right? Automatically. It's that fast. Your relationships change, and I'm not talking about like, dealing with somebody who's maybe you have a fractured relationship with. You can still practice. You can still practice actively listening. But I'm talking about like your child. Have you ever just gotten down on their level and just eyeball to eyeball and just said, you know what? Yeah, I hear that. And just tell me about this. I remember my daughter actually told me that was one of the things that she really remembers about me is getting down on her level, eyeball to eyeball. And I remember one time getting down on my kids' level, eyeball to eyeball. They were both very little. I had two in 2 years. So they were both young at the same time, 20, 21 months apart. And sitting there bawling my eyes out with them, apologizing because I was being such a crappy mother that day, short-tempered, short-fused. It hit me, though, that I wasn't actively listening. I was talking over them. I was running them down. And I was too interested in my own agenda than to be interested in what they needed. And at their tender ages, they needed something from their mama, and it wasn't that. And that broke me. And that should break us all, because when we are not doing this, we're fracturing our relationships. We're not giving people our best. I want you to give yourself your best, and then I want you to turn around and give it out generously, abundantly, because you'll never run out. When you treat people like this, you'll never run out. That love will just grow and will grow and will grow. And your connections will be delicious, warm, wonderful ones. They'll feel cherished. And that's what we want. Don't you want to feel cherished? I know you do. Of course you do. Don't you want to hear somebody say, you are special? I'm so glad you're in my life. Of course you do. This is what we all want, but this is how we develop this. This is how our empathy grows. This is how our understanding for others grows. We don't dismiss anymore. We don't put off and we don't, that's not for me. Instead, we love more. We give more because we're coming from a place of mindfulness and we're listening with the intention of listening, not responding, not being quicker, not putting it down or dismiss, none of that, but doing this. It changes everything. So these three things, these are the big three that I think that just light me up and make all the difference in the world. And you could even take this for those of you too, Lucy, of course, because you are cherished. Yeah, and I'm so glad you're in my life, Margaret. All of you are. Margot said listen is her word of the year. Isn't that so impactful? But for those of you who live alone and whatever, you practice this with music. Now, for those of you who were at Full Bloom, do you remember the meditation music that I played? How beautiful that was? And I think I said this. If I didn't, shame on me. But I think I did. But I said, listen to the cello. It was a piano cello playing, and just hear the cello for just a minute. When we actively listen, we just hear the one thing. There's a great appreciation that comes with that too. And that appreciation, I'm telling you, when we're doing these kind of things with our relationships, this kind of listening, we create an experience for us with other people, for ourselves, and even just sitting there listening to beautiful music. We sit there and mindfully, actively listen. So to me, all of these things bring in a whole new level of living. It elevates everything, and it changes your mind on wanting to go back to all that stuff that was so low vibe. Who here went and saw, clicked on the link for the sand vibration? Did anybody see that? Yeah, connect the dots with all of that, because that's such a picture of the complexity of who we are as human beings and how we're created by God himself. This kind of thing, it just, to me, it just says, it's yelling to me, look, Leanne, You were created in God's own image. This is who you are. This vibrational thing, because we're all vibrational beings. That's how we're made. That's our energy coming out. That's how it works. It's absolutely fascinating. And we serve an amazing and wonderful God who thinks of these little details. And I just think he just smiles and just says, you don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the half of it. So what do you say? What if we all made a decision today that being wise women means that we are readers, active, intentional readers, and that we're looking for the nuggets, and we know that they're going to just spring right out of the page to us. And number two, that we're writers, all of us. Maybe it's not the great American novel, but that's not what we're after. We're after just being able to capture these things that we read and put our feelings to pen and put it out there and just allow it to be there and captured on the page. And then if we actively listen the way we're talking about today, if we actively listen, can you imagine the elevation of our relationships, not only to those around us, but the relationship to ourselves? We see ourselves with a different light. We see everybody with different lens. The love and the care, the empathy, the understanding, it's not normal of this world. You know that. You've been dismissed a lot, haven't you? I have. I won't be dismissed again. No, I hang with my people. And my people know me by name, and I know you by name. And you're important to me. That's why I call you out every time I see you. I want you to know I see you and I love you. You're important. You're important. Thanks for joining me today. Tomorrow is Thirsty Thursday. Oh boy, will I be thirsty. Maybe I'll have a glass of champagne. You never know. Peace be with you. I really appreciate you guys so much, so much. And listen, get on the journal thing. It's time. Saturday's going to rock and roll. Can't wait. Peace be with you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.